Hi guys, so I said I wasn't going to do a reading today, and of course I'm doing a reading right now. And the reason I'm doing this reading is because I figured out that maybe I needed to take a little break from the whole Trump question situation and get into something. I would not call it, it's not light, but at least it involves positive people. It's a tough question, but anyway, so I decided to do that instead. And I'm doing the DACA Kids. Somebody left a comment a while back asking about the DACA laws. I don't know exactly the deadline, but there's some deadline coming soon, and they're worried about it. Okay, so I did actually, this is the second reading. I just wanted to make the question a bit more focused, because sometimes it happens that I ask a question. The question I asked before this one was, will the DACA kids be able to stay here regardless of Trump's law to try and stop them from coming here or staying after a certain time period? And so basically the question was, will they be able to stay regardless of Trump? Okay, that's the bottom line. And I got a yes, but I just wanted more. I feel like I always want extreme specificity. So what it ended up giving me with the second reading was more details about Trump's many issues. Okay, so the second question, and the question I am asking now, is whether the DACA kids would be able to find a resolution before the deadline that Trump gave. Okay, so this was the exact question I asked. Will they be able to find a resolution before the deadline Trump gave? So the feeling I got from the first reading, and I'll do that reading a little bit later. Anyway, so what I got from the first reading was that yes, they will be able to stay, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to understand more because I felt like there was something missing, or maybe there was still. I wanted to flesh out more what was going to happen. So I just did the second reading. So I'm going to start with the second reading. Okay, so anyway, getting started. The Chariot, upside down. So either the wrong, victory, or victory overturned, and Fish. Fish is a card associated with money, lots of money. And for some reason, I wanted to find a card that relates to many, many people, or lots of. And for some reason, I kept hoping that this was somehow related to them. The fish were the kids, right? Because it's a group of them, lots and lots of them. So in some ways, I believe. Okay, I'll put the whole column together. So this was like this too. This is the plan. I talk about this sometimes. Card of the plan, but it was overturned, and a gift. Okay, so not instantly. The feeling I get from this very strongly is that Trump's whims is going to be overturned, and so will his plan. Okay. And it's weird because this money, I don't understand what this money has to do, what this money has to do with. But because the money, so this is weird reflection. The money card is always positive. This is a card of abundance. So it's always good. And if the bouquet card comes with it, it's also great. So there's no doubt that it's positive. I guess for me, I don't understand exactly where the money is coming from, or whether, to me, in a way, you know what I'll tell you, even though the Lenormand always says you have to take it very literally and it is what it is, I see it as them, because it makes no, money is really not necessarily part of the question. And I feel like this, see, it's three, so it's a group of people, so I see a gift to them. This is what I feel like. It feels that the win is going to be overturned, and their plans are going to be overturned. And I'll tell you, I'm saying this because I saw this card in the other reading as well. So that's the feeling I'm getting, is that they will have a gift, and that the victories on the other side will be overturned. Okay, and I'll give you the background why that's what it feels like. So this is the Lover's card. Good partnership, the government. So I would think of this as the friendly government, the government that has a partnership. And here we've talked about the country, right? In a way, this is the home. So the friendly home and a cloud. So there's a problem. Clouds is always a problem. So what I feel that, I'll show you then what happens next is pretty interesting. Okay, so this is the first row. So again, there's a problem in the friendly government, right? So what is the problem? Ta-da! The devil. The devil shows up. I wonder who that could be. Yes, of course. And it's so funny because, of course, the devil appeared in the reading right before this one is exactly the same, like Trump. Okay, so we know it's not just that we're imagining things. He really is a bad person. So the devil with his secret, okay, comes along. And many people are extremely worried to the point where they cannot sleep at night. Okay, this is because it's upside down, it's exacerbated like this, okay? And this is painful. Painful, not necessarily emotionally painful, but fighting. A lot of discussion, okay? So essentially we see, oh, everything was nice. Everything was fine. Everything was friendly. The government was friendly. And then there's a cloud, right? The beginning of the problem in the home. What is this cloud is the person, the devil with a secret, right? We know it's the new government. We know it's Trump. At this point, it's not even controversial to say that him and or his government are the devil, okay? So then it creates, he's very fighting in the sense, like very aggressively fighting, and some people can't sleep at night. And in a way, it's also showing that his situation, he's a man with a secret, and the secret is painful. So in a way, if we look at the readings I've done too about Trump, there's a strategy with all this aggression, right? He wants to push through this new, he's being like this, right? He's being very aggressive and very harsh so that he can push through. And in a way, it's a way to hide the secret, right? So the painful secret makes him more aggressive almost, right? So anyway, so this is the situation, the background. And as we said, there's the overturned victory with money and a gift. And I thought to myself, am I seeing things? I always try to think, okay, am I really not seeing something negative here in the center, right? Because the center is very important, okay? So I'm thinking, okay, am I thinking that this is some kind of a, am I being too optimistic here? What's going on, okay? I don't think I'm being optimistic. I think this, especially with this, it's a gift. It's a gift, and it's a gift of abundance. So in a way, I do believe that this will be overturned. And I'll tell you why at the end of this reading. It will show you very clearly why. And you know what? Actually, let me do this. Let me go to the last row, because the last row explains everything that comes before, and it doesn't make sense until you see it. So the last row is this. Justice overturned. Lilies. So what is this? This is the older man with the negative legal outcome. And here is the card for Trump, the madman, right? The man who has emotional problems. And this is a man again, him. So it's telling me very strongly that this crazy man is going to have this legal defeat. And the feeling that I got from this, I don't really know. I didn't look up the date of the DACA thing. And the feeling that I'm getting from this is that he will be removed probably before the deadline. Was it before? Oh, right after, or something like this. Okay, I feel like there's going to be, and I'll show you the cards that come before this. So I just wanted to show you that this is how it ends. In this second reading, like I said, I did this because I wanted to get more details on what's happening. Okay, with the first reading that was very positive. So I'll show you that before. And these are cards that showed up in the Russia readings, but it's not the same meaning. So I just wanted to show you, okay? So this, in a positive context, it's not just quid pro quo, but it's also a gift, right? So this is a person who's wealthy and giving something to the poor or somebody needy. It isn't all, it's in the, I guess in the case of politicians or the context of the Russia investigation, it is a quid pro quo card, but here it's just a gift. And in the context of what we're asking, it's a gift card. Out of all the cards, if we're looking for some sort of a amendment or something that would save or change their situation, this makes sense. And then you have a letter, which I think is some sort of law or document, okay, before. And we have here, this is a card of dealing with changes and many balls in the air. And then foreign government for something foreign, okay. So the feeling I get, this is not a question about Russia, okay. This was a question about the DACA kids, okay. If they're going to be able to, will there be a resolution to them before the Trump deadline, okay. So what I think, oh my God, okay. The feeling I get here, okay. Actually, I'm gonna get some pins and now. I'm gonna go buy some pins just to hold these cards together because I like showing them and I like seeing them here too, reflected. It gives me more ideas, more storylines. Okay, so I think that this is saying that there's going to be a lot of changes. This is many balls in the air, but also changes. Changes to foreign kids, okay, and gifts and laws. Basically a law that's going to create some changes, good changes. I mean, not necessarily good, just changes, a lot of balls in the air. But because we've seen before that we have the bouquet and the fish, and we have this, it's a basically, I think, some laws about the kids, the foreign kids, or the foreign changes. And the reason, I'm thinking, okay, could this be related to these cards that are ahead, like the judicial things related to Trump? I really believe that there's going to be some sort of a resolution or agreement because Trump is going to leave or being peace. Something bad is going to happen to Trump, and everything that he did will, whatever he did here, there's a threat of things being overturned against this person, and he's being shown as the devil. So obviously, it's saying this is the bad person in this story, okay, and he loses in the end. So yes, that's what I see. I see some sort of amendment here, and either this could be another possibility that there's going to be a lot of confusion. Well, this is not confusion. A lot of things happening as a result of the Russia investigation, maybe, but that either this is going to come, there will be an understanding about this, right? That people are aware of this issue and that they're going to do something for it because there's going to be an overturning of all the things that regarding the DACA kids that Trump has done. I believe that, okay? And I'm trying to think anything else. Yes, to me, it's pretty clear. I just see that, okay, the fate of Trump is at the end. So there must be a reason why he's shown here. Because this fate must be important to the question, okay? And again, yeah, I really believe that that's how, because of course, it's not that I'm questioning myself. I just want to make sure that I'm not being quote unquote positive, right? I don't want to be, because the only negative cards that came were related to the devil guy here, okay? The devil and the whip related to him, and then the lilies, the older man, and the justice. So I really don't, the good things that are depicted here are related to the dreamers. And it's saying, this is kind of, in a way, a hopeful reading for the government. It's saying that the friendly government went through a hiccup, but it regains. Right? The government, or the institution of the government itself, it stands. And that there's going to be this sort of period of change when either Trump loses on this issue, but I think he's going to be overturned somehow, just because there's so many cards about him and the devil and all those things. It's in a way, it's sending me the message that it's going to be okay, that the secret of the devil is going to come out, and that's it. And I'm thinking here, okay, could the plan be overturned if it was him? Well, I'm trying to, okay, if the plan had been the plan of the dreamers themselves, I feel like he would have, how to say, I don't think that the cards are bad, right? Meaning it would not present, because I think ultimately what they're doing is something evil. Their essence or their goal is negative. Okay, so what I mean is that they say, oh, we were anti-immigration, we're this and that. They just are evil people wanting to find evil ways to deal with people. Okay, if it had been a fair issue, you would not, okay, if it had been fair, the cards would not show him as the devil. Okay, I just see it's painting very clearly that what he's doing is wrong, right? By treating people this way. So, and again, the gift, what I'm saying is that the gift will not be on his side. There will not be a gift for him, right? In the sense, if we think of the world of justice in general as a kind of a meta model for a human interaction, right? Treating people, I mean, of course, as a sort of an ideal model, the gift would not be something harmful. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. It can't be something that would benefit Trump or that move, because it's showing him as the bad person. And anyway, so I hope I'm not too confusing. I'm just confirming again for myself and for anybody who might be looking at this video that I think is going to be okay. And I'll go on to the other part of the reading, the second reading, or the first reading. The reading I had done before, which I took a picture of, and now I'm going to go back to it and talk about it. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, so this is the first of 2 readings I've done about the DACA Kids. I did this reading first, took a picture, and then did the second. And now did the video for the second. Now I went back, put this one back, and I want to talk about it. And I think I did too, because I always like to have more confirmation or more details if I can have, okay? And that's why I did the second. And the other thing is, I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I just record it why didn't I just do the first one and record it when I was doing it? And I think what it was because I didn't know if I was going to do it tomorrow. And then, honestly, if I had seen something bad, I would not have done it, because it would break my heart to have to say something like, not something bad, but it just, anyway, I guess I am admitting that if it was terrible, I would probably not want to go ahead with it. Anyway, so I went back to the first reading, and it's kind of remarkable that it seems really poetic, this reading. The way that the images are put together, it's really beautiful. So I'll just show you the first. So this is abundance, right? And turned upside down. This is the first card. It's Empress upside down. So the beauty not as beautiful, abundance not quite as bountiful, and then the card of sorrow, right? I've talked about this. Guilt, obviously, it's not all guilt. It's just heavy sorrow and karma, like a cross that you have to carry. And then Queen of Cups and opportunities. So in a way, I feel like what it tells me is that there's in a way, sort of like a spiritual poverty, if you could say something like this, because both the Empress and the Queen of Cups are related to not only feminine qualities, but emotions. So there's sadness, there's just sadness and despair, because I can imagine that's obviously how anybody in that situation would feel. And this very, very dark sadness. But then there's an opportunity, okay? And that's what I feel this reading is about, the development of this opportunity. And obviously this is the center, meaning the right now or the current issue. And it's going to change for the better, okay? All right, so I'm just going to go back to the background of the reading. And it's amazing because in a way the reading is a little bit different, because the second one gives more of a context about the politics and Trump. But this one also gives, it's saying somewhat similar things in different ways, okay? So this, I love this first row. It's very beautiful, I think. So this is the anchor. I'd almost like, oh God, I'm not cry, but this is, okay, this is a harvest, okay? And this is the anchor. I'll put them together. And this is a person who's worked very, very, very hard. They're almost there, huffing, puffing, and it's kids. Oh my God, my eyes like almost water. So I'm gonna keep going until this is the third time. I have to get used to it. It's okay. It's not, and I have to remember, guys, if you see me crying, it's just because I get emotional. The outcome is good. It's just when I'm telling the story, I get sad because it's a sad story, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, don't. I thought to myself, okay, should I not do a reading? Should I stop it? People, I can't cry, whatever. And then I'm thinking, no, because if anything, and it's hard, I don't want. Like I said, sometimes I think, don't think whatever that I'm saying is whatever truth or anything. I'm just seeing the story, and I have a very, very strong feeling it's going to be okay. But it's just like when I read it, it's so sad. Okay, and there's no, how could it not be sad, right? It's very sad. It's very sad, but it's the story of people. Okay, so it is what it is. And then sometimes I think the work that I do outside, okay, the other things I'm doing, I'm very committed to this idea of humanity, or not being afraid of being human, okay? And that emotion, no, I don't say emotions in a cheap way, but I mean in a kind of, there's greatness in having human values, okay? It's not wrong to care about people and what happens to them because they're people, It's simple, right? It's not anything, it's very normal because we're human, right? Okay, anyway, so I'm going to not cry this time, okay? All right, but again, if I cry, it's not because bad things are going to happen, just because it's the story is sad. Okay, so going back, putting these together, the kids anchor, right? The kids are anchors, right? They're home, and harvest has a lot to do with not just things they've earned here, but it's their earth, right? Harvest comes from the earth, and you have to be grounded in order to get whatever it is the earth gives you. And this is also the card of, like, I think I started crying last time. It's like the kids are almost there, okay? They're like, really, oh, we're almost there. And that's when, things get taken from them. It's very sad, okay? So anyway, so it's the kids, and they're anchored here, and they're happy. They, maybe have their jobs, and they're doing their things. But then they're almost, okay, we're almost there. And then, of course, comes the devil. Of course, it's funny. The other readings show the same thing. And, it's like, if anything, we know that we're not, like, it's mean and it's wrong, and even the cards agree, okay? All right, so this is a person who knows is doing something wrong. Is the devil, but maybe they're trying to, like, not be as devilish, but they're still the devil. And here's the ring, meaning the devil wants to make a deal, okay, or made a deal, and what's underneath is Russia, right? We know, I still think that because of the context of the devil, okay, and I think, because I think this is Trump, and considering the story that we know, it's this person, right? And what is the devil in the context of all, of not just the tarot, but in general, right? The devil is not just the bad person, but I think the relationship with the tarot is that the devil is everything that humans create. Because there's a lot of, like, spiritual schools that believe that God is not, there's nothing, evil is something that humans create, right? So in a way, this is all the worst of humanity, right? Has showed up with a deal or so of some sort, okay? And it's showing that the devil comes with this lady, okay? And I believe the lady is the Russian influence or something like that. And because it will show in the second reading that it's going away. So that's why I believe there's a reason why these cards are showing, okay? They're sending a message, and their message is that this deal or whatever law was in a way momentary and related to this condition, the devil condition, okay? All right. And then after this, of course, we get the deal, and the deal leads to people being very sad and very burdened, okay? And like very, very sad again, but there's an opportunity. And then things turn around, okay, after that. This is just the first part of the reading, and you have to remember that I love, when the cards, they recognize these things, it's so beautiful, right? Because it's not like they know what's wrong or what's right. You know what I mean? It's not, because they always, oh, look, it's just, they try to paint this as some, like, horrible, oh, those kids, it's like the way, and you know, I've come, of course, I'm an immigrant too. Like, I was not illegal ever. My mother came here to, well, long story, but, uh, anyway, so I've never had to deal with what many people have had to deal with. And I can only imagine it's just horrible, awful. And I just, the things I read, sometimes I don't want to read them because it's so painful, the things they're doing to kids. And I don't, you know, and regardless of whether you're pro or anti this or that, you have to be human, right? At the end of the day, how could you not see this as some, like, the way the things they the way they go about doing these things, the way they separate kids from, it's just, it's so unnecessary. Okay, it really feels unnecessary. That's what it feels like. So anyway, so let me just put back these cards, and yeah. So okay, so then moving on to better outcomes here, I have the Page of Pentacles and the Moon, and Ace of Cups and Stars. So this is, I think this is, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Because then I was like, okay, looking at, because I always associate the Moon card with reputation, fame, so those kinds of things. And then I was looking up at more meanings, and I was like, went online, I was like, dreamers, because that, it's the dreamers. So, oh my God, I'm not gonna cry. Okay. So, okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Okay. So, anyway, so it's showing the Ace of Cups, and it's a very nice card. It's a card of emotional happiness, of hope, right? It's all the cups are about emotion. So the aces are always about the essence of whatever the element is. Okay, so it's very good. It's renewal. Okay, and this is a card of hope. Stars is hope and expansion. So hope to the dreamers and expansion. Okay, that's what it's saying. And in a way, it's saying expansion in the sense of there's hope, there's expansion. It's not just metaphorically, right? Saying that whatever they dream is going to expand, but that there's a bright future ahead. Okay. And this is interesting because it's funny. I always, because I feel like I got used to the Russia readings and everything has a kind of specific, at this point, everything has a specific meaning, right? And so sometimes I feel like I want to look things up because I just want to make sure that I get it correctly, right? So this is nice too, because this is showing the garden. I've said before, it's about public. It could be social media, and then I looked up it again today just to make sure. And one other meaning that I sort of neglected to think about a lot of the times is society. So it's a card of society. So in a way, it shows that the dreamers are integrated in society. Okay, so there's dreams to the society, but then they're also in the society. And this is a card that shows in the other reading about overturning the plans of the devil person. And it's overturned. So what I believe is that those negative things are overturned in the future, because this is the very end of all the reading, okay? And this is a good partnership. It could be a card of when you meet someone or start dating someone, or it's also a good business deal, business partnership. So in a way, I feel like it's a law or some sort of partnership, okay? Positive, because it's turned up, so it's positive. And this is very nice. This is a dog. Like I said, a dog is always, it's like a good person, okay? And it's a card of loyalty and friendship. And whenever it deals with people, it always means it's your friend or friendship or somebody you can trust. So here it's saying the dreamers are integrated in society. Society is friendly. Okay, again, right? Because it was evil, but now society is friendly towards them, but it's also friendly in general, and it's friendly to their dreams, to their hopes. Okay, so what I feel it tells me is that, and because, okay, this is, I'm going to show you these two, very nice. It's the 1 and the 2, so meaning like there's a kind of a, what's the word? Just kind of like a joy, explosion of initial joy. You know, when like something, after a lot of darkness, good things happen, and so it's stage 1 and stage 2. So it's It's saying that there's hope again and there's friendliness, okay? And a friendly environment and society is in their favor, okay? So this is the page shows that it's the beginning. And because here you have the page and you have the ace and the two, this two, so it's at the beginning. So it's a new beginning. It's all saying that these smaller things are happening in a way because it's a new beginning of new hopes where the dreamers, like I said, are integrated society and there's friendliness. But because of course it would be weird if you got, let's say, 10 of Cups or other very positive cards that mean completion. This is not saying that there's completion. It's saying that it's a new beginning with positive new beginnings. Completion would be something where something positive has been building for a long time, but this is just the beginning, a new beginning that's positive. Because of course, after this, this card, for example, is very negative, right? It's very, very sad. So it just shows that there's a whole new rebirth and like a positive outcome, okay, for people. I think it's just what I feel and what I sort of see is like party is not the right word, but it's sort of like a new communal friendliness. Because you know how people say, oh, America's so divided and so forth. I think a lot of the dividedness, and I won't go into it now because it's not relevant, but the other things I do, I've studied a lot of this, like the bots and the technology and things like that. And I see that it's all very organized to make people, all the chatter online is fabricated in a way, right? The evil kind of created a system to say horrible things all the time. And it's not really how the majority of people are. It's just that they used it to change people for the worse. I mean, I'm not saying that people who are racist aren't racist. What I'm saying is that a lot of even the idea that America is divided and so forth is a repetition. They're repeating this thing the same way that they said, "Oh, America, great again," as if it was not much better than when they came along. Okay, all right. So that's that, and I'm going to edit now the videos to make sure. Because I turn off the camera when I start crying. I'm like, I hope it's just a choice for me, okay, to leave it on a little bit because I don't want to be like, it's not a news show, okay? It's like a real person, so I'm leaving that on, okay? All right, thanks for watching. Bye.